Oh, this is why we come out here. This is what we're talking about right here, everybody. This is what we're talking about. Yeah, this is what we're talking about right here. Life is good! Ready? Maggie, what do we say? Hammer time. All these deadheads and lily pads and chunks of rock back here. This is really, really good territory for bass. Now, whether or not they're in here, it has been some really, really hot weather lately, so who knows what they're inclined to do. They may go deeper, but I have caught them back here in weather this warm before. So it's kind of perplexing to me, but I just go with it. I'm not a fish scientist, I'm a fish catcher. Sometimes not even that. This back bay certainly has all the characteristics of a bay that will hold largemouth. Certainly does hold smallmouth. I've caught a few over the years back here, and I have caught one or two largemouth. But if we're specifically targeting largemouth, this is the only place on the river near our boat launch that I know has largemouth. There probably is other places, but I'm not aware of them. Just a little guy. Another little guy. That's okay, I want the switch anyway. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Beautiful day here in the Ottawa Valley today. Beautiful. About 26 degrees, no wind at all. Making it a bit challenging for Maggie. The tongue's been hanging out of her head for the last 2 hours. But that's how they cool themselves off, right? So she's gonna be okay. Annette and I usually don't come out on the river on a Saturday or Sunday during the peak of summer, just because, well, quite truthfully, the launch is really busy and there's lots of boats ripping around, and not that we're not capable of doing that, we just choose not to. But today circumstances were a little bit different. We got some things planned throughout the week, and we decided, you know what, it's beautiful, let's come out and give it a go. So that's what we're doing. And because the main channel was really busy, I don't know, I probably saw 10 boats just when we were tucking in here. My go-to when the river's this busy is to come back onto the Quebec side here, which is where Annette and I are now, and where we have been for a couple hours. And we started out throwing in some real shallow water, hopefully with the view to pick up a largemouth or two, which are back here, not in an abundance, but they are back here. And we had no success in that. We got one or two smallmouth, but fun nonetheless, but not what we were looking for. So we kind of moved away from that shallow area and we came out here, and this is a spot that I favor. And those of you that have watched the channel from the beginning, there's not many of you, but came back here last fall and I explained to you guys my concept of fishing this area. It does have a lot of current, which is essentially let the current push me back, spot lock when I want to fan cast on an area. Once I've exhausted it, I disengage the spot lock, let the current push me back, lock where I want to fan cast, etc., etc. It does produce when the fish are wanting us to produce, but the reality is we're in the dog days of winter. The reality is we're in the dog days of summer. I'll have to fix that. We're in the dog days of summer here, so fishing is slow traditionally. Now I know some anglers probably do quite well when the days are like this, but wherever you are, I'm happy for you. I usually don't catch a lot of fish when the weather's hot like this, but we still come out and get some sun and enjoy the day anyway. Where's Maggie? Yeah, okay. Whew. Maggie's hiding underneath the console. She's getting some shade. So welcome to the channel. Watch it, give it a go. Give it a go for 5-10 minutes before you touch that remote. You might enjoy it. Not too much goes on this channel, quite truthfully. That's why it's called Not Too Serious Adventures. You're just kind of following me and my family and or my friends around and doing really not too serious things. We'll see how it goes throughout the day. Stay tuned and we'll see you in a bit. A hit right off the top there. Oh, he's back. He's back. Is he there? Oh, nope. He's not. Fish on. Just another little guy. What are you looking for? Oh, he's off.
Looking for. How is Sophie available for her? She's coming up.
I guess. Good question. I don't know. What time is it anyway?
Right now?
3:30, eh? Holy. I don't know what this is, but what's that, babe? Wow, look at that. I got us an oyster for supper, baby. Would you like some oyster? It's not an oyster.
I guess you'll be editing on.
It wasn't on.
Oh, but you got a fish.
Yeah.
It's not on. GoPro on.
It's on.
Why'd you lie to me?
No, I just put it on. Baby smallmouth. Today I'm using these Gulp minnow replicas. A buddy of mine introduced me to them about a month ago. They save on the minnow bill, I'll tell you, because they don't cost a quarter of the price and will last much longer, and they got a really strong scent to them, and they seem to be working for me. I'd say the only negative to them is they, because of whatever solution they're using in them to recreate that smell, it kind of makes this rubber very soft, and it tears quite easily. So if you're getting all these little fish like I'm getting right now, they're not going to last too long. They'll basically just chew them apart. But the productivity of the Gulp, well, it says right on it, so it's got to be true. Outfishes all their bait. It's got to be true. I'm telling you, whoever that guy is, that's got to be a jet boat, or he's following a real tight line on his route, because I fished 1,000 times back there, and it is Stump City, it is Rock City, it is terrible. So whoever this pirate dude is, looks like he's not even running jets, but he could be. It looks like an inboard outboard. Wow, I've never seen that before in my life.
What?
That just blows my mind how he ripped through there.
Yeah. You were okay with the spot?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Where if perfect. Get Maggie cooled off, get a drink, have a snack. We're going to take a quick break. We got to go for a swim, cool off Maggie, have some watermelon. Camera lady is distorting the view. All right, Mag, you ready to go for a swim? All right, get up. That's all we got. That's all we got. Thank you. I'll double check in a minute. I think you might have your rubber Crocs in here. Lucky we'll see a fish hanging out underneath one of these. If we're lucky, we might see a fish hanging out under one of these pads. Sometimes that happens. They'll come right up in here. They like that cover. Maggie, what'd you find, girl? Did you find yourself a fish? Did you? What you doing, girl? There she goes. She's hunting. She's doing what she does best. Okay. That music must be coming from the fort, eh? No, but I hear a big old bass. Missed him. Loser. Flinch. There he is. Just a little guy. Another little guy. Small fish today. Small fish. Babies.
Yep.
Babies.
What?
Baby fish today. Oh, this is a nice smallmouth. Holy Christ. Yeah, sure. Oh, this is why we come out here. This is what we're talking about right here, everybody. This is what we're talking about. Yeah, this is what we're talking about right here. Right here, my friends. Now that is a nice smallmouth. Right here. Pulling them off. Perfect hook set. Pink. Nice sweep on it. Watch that line get picked up. Waited till it was taunt. Once it was taunt, swept backwards. And there it is. That's a beautiful smallmouth.
Quick search and I'll tell you if it is in Portugal. What?
I don't know if he's still there.
Yeah. Bingo.
Yeah, I think he's just barely hooked there, so it might be a good idea. Pulling a bit of drag here.
Whoa! Where did, you know what? I don't know if that pool noodle is a good idea. It's hard to lower it.
Yeah, you can't push it in, eh? We might have to do a modification. First one of the day that had any size to it. But that's okay. Still nice getting out. Gotta do a little bit of a repair on this guy. A lot of times when these guys get hooked way back here, you see a lot of anglers, they'll just drive the pliers right down the center. But what I like to do is, if you can get a look at this, if I come in from the behind gill, and then you get that hook and a little bit of a twist, boom. You guys see that? Just how that popped out like that? That's it. So that's the best way to do that, in my opinion. Come up from behind and get rid of it. Nice little smallmouth bass here in the middle of summer. I also want to point out to you guys, just before we let you go here, one thing about fishing these Senkos, and I don't know if anybody was really paying attention to my hook set, but these the Senkos slash wacky rig, they do you do have to fish them a little bit different than a traditional grub or jig. And what I mean by that is, when you throw that the wacky rig into the wacky rig into the water. There's different types of wacky rigs, weights and whatnot. Some sink at different rates. I've been bouncing back and forth between a slow descent and a fast descent rig today, just because it's summertime and I'm trying to figure out what's going to work for them. It's dog days of summer, you got to experiment. But what I'm trying to get at here is, when you're fishing this rig, it's not so much, traditionally when you're fishing a jig, you're waiting for that tap. And we used to, when we were growing up, we used to teach the kids, you know, 1, 2, 3, you feel 3 taps, and then on the 3rd tap you set the hook. Now I know that's very generic, and it doesn't always work that way, but as a general rule for fishing, particularly walleye, it was 1, 2, 3 set. But with the wacky rig here, what you have to do is different, because you're actually a lot of times fishing by sight. And what I mean by that is you're looking at the line. Now you'll even see a lot of anglers, they'll use a green or a white line, and I do have some rods in the boat with different color lines on them. And what that is for is basically they're watching that line get picked up. And what I mean by that is the bass will pick it up and you'll see it getting taut, and then that's when you're going to go do your swiping hook set. Now in my case, this rod here is rigged up for some Northern Ontario shield lakes. I just haven't changed it around because it's primarily one of my walleye lakes. But it doesn't matter to me, because another thing you can do, and what I prefer to do when I'm using a dark color line, is you can a lot of times see the curl on your line. And so when you see that curl, it's kind of starting to happen right now here. When you see that curl starting to straighten out, you know something's on that and it's starting to pull it. Now, as soon as it starts to straighten out, that doesn't mean you're just going to set that hook, because it's different. That octopus hook is meant to come up, and if you're fishing it correctly, you're going to just hit it in the lip. Now, like I said, that can be challenging, because if the fish are aggressive, they're going to inhale it. But that's the principle behind it. And the other thing, on the 3rd point I'd like to make, is if you do have decent equipment, a lot of times you'll feel that first thunk. The energy will be transmitted up your line, particularly if you're using a braid or one of the other high-speed lines, which I'm using here. You'll feel that energy come up, and you'll feel the tunk right through your rod. So a lot of times you don't even have to look, and once you feel that, you know that something has picked it up, and basically it's time to start preparing for the sweep. That's all I want to say. Anyway, guys, Annette and I are going to be shutting this day down here very, very soon. We're going to go home and enjoy the rest of our evening in our backyard. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Once again, nothing too serious. Just Annette and I out enjoying this beautiful hot summer day. Caught, I don't know, maybe a dozen fish all in here today. Only 1 or 2 decent sized ones. That's okay, I always say, because Annette and I are at that stage of our life truly where we enjoy fishing just as much as we used to enjoy catching fish. Most days. Anyway, you guys know the spiel. Life is hard. Have fun and support your troops. We'll see you next time on NTS Adventures. Calling out. All right, my girls, we're all in. Let's go home. Life is good.